Hey everybody, so I wanted to do a video on this shotgun here since I saw there weren't really any out there on YouTube. Since buying this gun, I learned a ton of information that I'd like to share with you, and one of the main reasons I wanted to make this video was so that you can make the best and most informed decision possible when looking at an older side-by-side shotgun like this one here. This is going to be a three-part video series on this gun. Part 1 is going to cover the cost of the Ithaca Flues and its issues with shooting modern ammunition. Part 2 is going to cover selecting the right ammunition for this gun that it can safely shoot without damaging it. And in Part 3, I'm going to go over the specs of this gun, going into barrel length, chokes, etc., etc. Also in Part 3, I will provide a brief overview of another side-by-side shotgun that's actually coincidentally made by Ithaca to consider if you're thinking about buying the Ithaca Flues. Alright, so let's get started. So this is the 12 gauge Ithaca Flues side-by-side made in 1922. These guns were manufactured actually in Ithaca, New York, hence the name. First thing I'm going to start with saying is that this gun is really affordable. And it's really affordable for a few reasons. I bought this one here for $375 at a gun show. And they generally sell in the $400 to, let's say, I want to say maybe even $600 range. Now keep in mind though, this is the field grade Ithaca Flues, which is its entry level grade. And when you look at the other higher grade Ithaca Flues, they start becoming much more expensive. But I won't be going into that in this video here. Also, another thing to consider, or I guess to keep in mind, when I say affordable, I mean I know affordable is subjective, but I'm also basing it off what's generally considered affordable in the world of side-by-sides. $1,000 to the $1,500 range is what's generally considered affordable. You know, that's the lower end of the spectrum, and this gun is even lower than that. So, you know, what gives? Why is it priced the way it is? So the first reason for its price is that the field grade Ithaca Flues does not hold the same status as some higher grade names like, let's say, maybe Browning or Bernardelli, which does make sense. In addition, you could see that there is no fancy woodwork or fancy engravings here, which is what tends to make prices go up on side-by-sides. You know, the more elaborate and higher grade, let's say wood or steel you're using, then the more expensive the gun is going to be. So as you can see here, you know, the wood is nothing amazing or out of this world. There is, I guess, here, a nice little fish scale that was worked in, but other than that, you know, this pales in comparison to what you would see on much more expensive side-by-sides. Like you can see here on the receiver, there is a little dog that's engraved there. I hope you can make it out right in the center of the screen. These came standard on all the Ithaca Flues models. And again, it is nothing amazingly fancy, but you know, I guess it is a nice little touch that, you know, adds to the gun. The second big reason for its low price is that the Ithaca Flues is really old. And when I say old, I mean old. It was only made until 1926, and then this model was discontinued by Ithaca. So you're looking at least a 90-year-old gun if you're going to be buying one of these. Another important reason for its price is that it's a 12 gauge. And this doesn't just apply to this gun, this applies to essentially, I want to say, most side-by-sides. Smaller gauges like 20 or 28 are usually going to be much more expensive. This is because the smaller gauges are lighter and easier to carry in the field, and collectors have just, really driven their prices up by now. So for the most part, you could have the same model side by side in 20 gauge and 12, and the 20 gauge will usually be significantly more expensive than its 12 gauge counterpart. Now, I'm going to be honest. The price tag of the Ithaca Flues is very, very alluring. Because for many people, they see this gun and they think to themselves, wow, I can actually, afford a side-by-side. I don't have to drop, over $1,000 and sleep in the doghouse because the lady is pissed off at me. But buying a gun based solely on price and no other information is usually a bad idea. So here is the most important fact you need to know before you buy the Ithaca Flues. Alright, here goes. You cannot and should not shoot modern ammunition out of this gun. I'll say that again. You cannot and should not shoot modern ammunition out of this gun. The pressure created by modern ammunition can seriously damage the gun. More specifically, cracks will begin to develop in the frame and the wood, and many other horrible things can happen. This gun was not designed to handle modern ammunition. So what this means for you is that you're not going to necessarily have the convenience of going to Walmart, picking up the first box of shells you see, and then heading to the range if you buy this gun. And this doesn't only apply to this shotgun, but this applies to any shotgun made before 1926. And the reason why 1926 is such an important date is because this was the year that shotgun shell manufacturers all decided to dramatically increase the loads in their shells in order to produce much more powerful ammo. This was the creation of modern ammunition that we're used to shooting today, that can reach the standard of 11,500 pounds per square inch and velocities of up to 1,300 feet per second without breaking a sweat. Now, to be fair, just because it can't shoot modern ammunition does not make it a bad gun. It can still shoot. You just need to shoot the right ammo out of it. But this could, however, be a major deciding factor in buying this kind of old gun. So keep this general rule of thumb when looking at shotguns, at least that are in the older range. A shotgun made before 1926 cannot handle modern ammo, and this may be inconvenient for you depending on your situation. A shotgun made after 1926 can handle modern ammo, and it makes it about just as convenient to pick up shells as it is to buy Oreos and birthday cake ice cream. And believe me, I really love that combination. Now, there may be exceptions to this rule, but that is where your due diligence and research comes into play in order to make the right decision. Alright, so this wraps up video 1. Stay tuned for part 2 of this series, in which I explain exactly what kind of ammo the Ithaca Flues can shoot, and of course other shotguns before 1926, and where exactly you can find this ammo. Alright, thank you for watching a little bit of everything, and remember, no matter what kind of shooting you do, always be safe and always have fun.